Alright, guys, we are live and welcome back. This is Off the Post. I'm your host, DJ. No, we haven't got cut off yet. We haven't received any bad letters from the U.S. Soccer yet. It's coming soon, so I'm just waiting on it. Oh, there goes that dog. There goes that dog. It was right on time. Is it always a goofy start to our show? Like, thank you. We found out who the dog culprit is, by the way. I'm not going to call out Aurelio's name, but it was Aurelio. And so, if you guys want to, first things first, make sure if you're on Twitter, use the WOSO hashtag so you can ask us questions as always. Facebook, Tumblr, give us a call, and we shall start the show, I guess. We got a few new people that are going to be joining us as we continue, so you'll see faces popping up down there, random new people. I guess we'll call them special guests. And also about that little contest we had. Yes, I did choose a winner. Also, it is a real contest. They actually are going to receive something, and I'll tell you who that is at the end of the show. I'll throw up my lower third. As you can see, mine is still the U.S. Women's National Team one. I'll throw up my lower third at the very end, and you guys will see who I chose. All right, guys, so let's get it started. NWSL time. Aren't you all excited about that? Yeah, look at those happy faces. Not too happy. All right. Last season was a great NWSL season, don't you think? Right? Rue, what did you enjoy about last season?
What didn't I enjoy? Well, obviously Kansas won, so I can't have many complaints. I think it was good to see new players coming through. Something that we would be looking forward to this season as well. If we knew who was playing, I have no idea at the moment, but yeah, I think Kansas have kept the core of the squad. So from a Kansas City fan perspective, I'm really looking forward to the season.
Really? I know you're happy for the season. The Dash are looking a lot stronger. What is something you're looking? What did you enjoy about last season, though?
I think it was A-Rod. She came back from like a year because of pregnancy. I don't know.
Yep.
Came back scoring goals, and she definitely one of the reasons Kansas won the league, I guess, in my opinion. That was what I enjoyed the most. And the expansion, Houston getting a team. I think the league needs to grow.
Yeah, it was good. It was definitely good to see the league grow. I think that was a big thing that a lot of people liked. A lot of people took to the Dash. It seemed like they had a pretty good following throughout the year. Christy, what did you enjoy about the season last year?
I think it was the first season. Even though I'm a Thorns fan, the first season was sort of like an obvious sort of dominance, even though they had their struggles. But it was nice to see other teams in the mix and to see the quality in the league itself become more widespread throughout the different teams. So that was a really nice plus. And then of course A-Rod coming back. Back to form and performing really well was really good to see as well.
Yeah, I have to say for me, to start off the season, it was good to see the whole, I guess I consider it a back-and-forth Golden Boot battle between A-Rod and Kim Little. That was pretty fun watching them both score goals back and forth and seeing who would keep the lead or who had the lead. That was pretty fun. Also, I guess I chose a game. I chose a certain game. So Boston was struggling, as we know, pretty hard throughout the season. They had just lost 4 games. And then look who comes to town. The Portland Thorns, Christy. And then after with a lot of Boston starters on the bench, Boston goes and loses the next 2 games. So it was a pretty weird game. I remember watching it thinking, oh, yeah, Boston's going to get ran over. And then they just had that great game. So that was a fun game to watch this last season. Other than that, I think the next season's going to be pretty fun. We're going to have a lot of those exciting things to look forward to. A lot of players came in and stuff, but it's also a lot of players that are holding. Well, some players are holding themselves out. I think it is Australia and Brazil. What do you guys think about those teams holding out players, or certain players just not even going to be in the league? Aurelio?
I think in Brazil and Australia's case, it's the teams who pay the player salaries. So the players should play for the team, not the national team. I mean, but in the American case, it's the federation, so they should choose if they want the players in the league or the national team.
Christy, do you think the U.S. Women's National Team players should sit out before the World Cup, or should they play a couple of games?
I mean, I feel like they should be playing. I think that as much of I know the idea, the concept is to keep everybody healthy and nobody wants any unexpected injuries going this close to the World Cup, but it's sport. And unfortunately, injuries are part of the game. So I think your club team should be just as important as your national team team. Does that make sense? And also the issue being by holding them out, I think you're hurting the player pool down the road, which is not the point. At this point, I don't even feel that we're super competitive for this upcoming World Cup. So why pull the players that are going to draw the fans in and help quality of play in the league out? Because we're going to need them for the next one.
Hey, Roos, I think we got some good news about one of your favorite players, Abby. Back. I don't know if you've heard of her talking about sitting out for not just the World Cup, but for not the World Cup, but the start of the season and then afterwards. How do you feel in the nicest words about Abby sitting out to start the season?
Well, initially when we first said the news that she wasn't going to be playing at all, I think everyone did a celebration dance. It was more like good riddance, if anything. But then the more she tried to explain why she was doing it, that's when it got ugly. I've actually got some quotes from her here to show you how ridiculous her decision is. She said, last summer it was really difficult being away from this house that we just bought and built and remodelled, saying it's harder to be away and it's longer trips. So you think, fair enough, you feel a bit sorry for her there. But then she goes on to say she wants to play in Europe next year, so that's an even longer trip.
Bit odd, to say the least. Yeah. Like, I didn't understand it either a bit. Like, I thought at first, okay, maybe the old ones, like maybe Rampone coming off injury or something would sit out for a little bit. And then when Abby told her excuse for it was, it kind of threw me off a bit. I was just like, well, and then I really felt bad because, like their coach was saying, he said, if you would have told me a little bit earlier before the draft, maybe I could have planned ahead. I could have done something to help the team out. But he's like, I guess like the timing he was told, and then even she wouldn't really try to work with him or whatever. It kind of hurt the Flash in the long run. So I don't know, it was kind of weird. But then the other news about Lauren Holiday thinking about retiring in A-Rod, how'd you feel about that, Haru?
If it's true, obviously very sad to see them go. I do hope they play a few games with Kansas City first, at least. I don't see how it could harm them. Like Christy said earlier, injuries could happen anywhere. If they are locked away in a training camp, anybody can get injured there. So I don't think being with your club team is that much of a risk, really. But I do think if a player does decide to retire, you've got to completely respect that decision, especially in the women's game, I think. So, which is what makes Wambach's decision even more ridiculous, because she has no intentions of retiring. So why she doesn't have any intentions of coming back to the NWSL after the World Cup or even next season, I have no idea. I have no idea what she's thinking.
Really, how do you feel about the Krieger retirement? It's like it might not hurt. Like the Spirit might be able to survive a bit, but do you think it'll hurt them like emotionally more so as a team?
Probably. I think she's the leader of the team.
Yep.
And she's an important player for the women's national team too. So she should be playing for a couple of years more. She's still young. I mean, she got more years to play, I guess. Not time to retire yet. She can still do well in the top level.
And I guess, Chrissy, we haven't forgot about you at Portland Thorns. Rachel Van Hallebeck, how do you feel? She's retiring. Do you still want her around, or do you feel like she could be still a big asset to the Portland Thorns?
Well, I mean, I still think she's an asset. I find it kind of interesting that all these retirements are coming up, and it seems to be a lot of players, even ones who, in my opinion, shouldn't really still have the ability to play longer, and it starts to wonder if everything goes right back to who their head coach is. Just from when I remember when Lauren Cheney Holiday, whichever you want to call her, was saying that after Pia had left, that she had considered retirement because she wasn't feeling like she was being productive and she wasn't being used to her potential. And then when Tom came in, she felt that comfort and that ability to be able to work out of the position she was comfortable in. And then you turn around and have struggles the team has had, and the direction they're going, which a lot of us fans, if not all of us fans, feel is not the right direction. And you can't help that maybe that's starting to transcend to what the players are feeling as well. So they kind of can't speak for them, but it kind of just feels like all of this is coming about amidst all this negativity and not feeling like the national. If, in my opinion, I wonder if that is maybe part of the problem.
Well, I mean, if these players do retire, they were some of my favorite players. A lot of them, I liked them. I had great memories with them. I wouldn't want to see Lauren Holiday go specifically, or A-Rod. It's like I really have enjoyed them the last couple of years. It seemed like they've really come on. So, I mean, it'll be sad. I mean, naturally we'll move on, but we'll know definitely after. I feel like after this World Cup specifically, it's going to be the next cycle, next generation of U.S. women national team superstars, and hopefully the NWSL will survive as long as it will. It'll be the next group of superstars will come up in the league. So with all those women national team players talking about leaving, let's talk about a lot of the key signings that came to the league this year. Christy, what key signing you think will have? Are you looking forward to? Will have a major impact this season?
Honestly, I don't have any particular ones that I'm excited about. Honestly, I can't remember her name off the top of my head. The girl has signed with Portland, and I feel like a jerk right now because I don't remember her name. That's really awkward. But anyway, I think that's going to be interesting to see. I assume that she's going to be sort of fitting in there in between when Alex and Cincy are going to be out. So she's got a really, they're really excited about her coming in. So I'm kind of curious to see how she plays and see how she fits in with the team. So obviously, being a Thorns fan, I'm going to go that direction.
Well, let me help you out, homie. All right, then. For the Thorns, I have, let's see, Genoveva Anoma, 122 matches.
Their name. I didn't want to butcher the poor thing.
I'll butcher it for you. 95 goals, actually, she scored. No problem. And then the Thorns also have the Sarah Robbins. She played in, the Finnish League? 22-year-old, 3 goals, 7 assists. Mm-hmm. And those are the Thorn ones, I believe. So I mean, yeah, you guys got some talent coming. It'll be nice to see what they do without the Alexes and Sinclairs around. So it'll be really nice to see how they can impact the team and the league if they can carry them for a nice amount of time. Yeah. Rue, what are you looking forward to? Key signings.
I can't name that many key signings either because obviously it's a World Cup year, so not many people are going to come across. But inter-league trades, some have been pretty interesting. I think Houston, with the trades they've made, they might be the team to break through into playoffs this year. Obviously, Carly Lloyd, assuming she plays. They've also got Jess McDonald from Portland, who scored tons of goals last season, kind of completely underrated. I think Portland were kind of stupid to let her go. So yeah, I think Houston. They've also got Morgan Bryan, haven't they? So can't wait to see how she actually does week in, week out. Because I don't think we've seen that much from her in the national team. But yeah, quite looking forward to what Houston can do.
Yeah, and with Morgan Bryan, I think she's actually going to have a bit more with the club team, a bit more freedom, probably play her in a position she's more comfortable in. So I think it'll be great to see her in the league too. Aurelio, how do you feel about Laura Del Rio? I think she's going to tear up the league for a little bit.
Yeah, I haven't seen much from her, but from what I've seen, she can do well in the league. She definitely can do well. But I'm looking forward to see Stephanie Roach linking up with Oha and Henderson, the Houston attack. I think they can do well together. Yeah, Roach can be that number 9 for Houston.
Yeah, I think Houston, like I said, I think they've had a lot of their moves this year have been really are going to push them towards the playoffs. I feel like they'll be solid once they'll be solid for a while. The main national teamers or the ones they do have are gone. But also once they come back, they're just going to have that extra boost, and I can see them just shooting over the top. So yeah, I think Houston would be really good. Laura Del Rio, just the fact that she scored 33 goals in 2 years in the W League or what it was. So
FAWSL, I guess.
Yeah, and she played for it, and she's going to the Spirit, so that gives them a goal scorer they probably are looking forward to. But with all these key signings, also Nadia Nadim actually signing for the Sky Blue for the whole season. That's going to be a major impact for them, I think, because in just a few games she did play in 7 goals, 3 assists in 6 games. That's so. I mean, imagine what she's going to do with her goal tally when she actually gets to play a whole season with them, hopefully. And I mean, I don't know. I think it's a lot of good signings that are going to really score a ton of goals. So it's going to be a good season overall. But also, we've had a lot. There goes that dog. There goes that dog. No. But also, thank you. Also, we had a lot of young players retiring, which it was a weird little small epidemic. I'm hoping it doesn't end up being a big one. Rue, how did you feel about seeing some of those young names pop up and retiring, or was it understandable with how the league's money is for them right now?
Yeah, it's completely understandable. I think, when they initially announced everything about the league, I think the minimum salary was something like $6,000 for the lowest paid players, which that's absurd, really, isn't it? So yeah, you completely understand anyone retiring. You can completely respect the decision, and it is really such a shame, especially since this is a World Cup year. They would have had a chance to play more this year and make a name for themselves, but obviously better opportunities have come up, and that just goes to show that the league, even though it's been going for this is the third season now, it's still not looking brilliant. It's not looking as sustainable as they like to. That was the word they kept using, when it's sustainable, but obviously the players, it's not a sustainable choice. So.
Christy, so one big name in particular, Nikki Marshall, her retirement, 5th most minutes with 20,072. She's only 26 and appeared in 46 consecutive club games. How do you feel about her retiring at 26?
That actually broke my heart. It was so hard for me to see her go. I mean, I understand she tore that ACL right before the end of the season last year, but man, talk about a workhorse on the field. She was so good and so key and needed when we didn't have those other players when Buell went down with her injury, and she was basically a lockdown on that back line, which we needed, and I'm sure we've got some interesting people coming in to lock that up this year. And then obviously Van Holbrook being healthier will help, because I don't think she'll be playing any World Cup. So
okay.
Just point out the obvious. Clearly, she's not on Ellis's list of most popular people to play. So,
yeah, correct.
Anyway, so that said, I'm gonna miss Nikki Marshall very, very much, and I'm sure they have lives, and like I think I stated at one point on Twitter, not necessarily live, but when you can make more money full time at McDonald's than you can in your professional league, then eventually it's going to be too difficult for those girls carrying 2 jobs to try and make ends meet to play soccer. So I understand it. I hope that the trend does not continue, and hopefully they find a way to start funding those leagues and those teams and those players better, so that we can keep the league going and keep quality talent in the league.
To touch on Rue's point real quick, what you're saying, yes, 6,000 to 30,000. They said was the range for the players' money. They said Pino and Leon alone per month was making 14,000. So that's just something for you guys to think about right there. Aurelio, do you think the league will be affected with all these players leaving? Even though it wasn't too big a number, but it was still some young players taking off that had impacts on their team.
Yeah, I don't think the league will be affected, but it's a shame to see some young players giving up on football so young. I mean, they have a lot to give yet, so I think the best way to change that is to get more fans and sponsors involved, so the teams would have enough money to give the players better salaries. I think helping the league to grow would give more chances to young players.
Yeah, I understand. But I mean, just looking at the list alone, I was looking at it just like some of the reasons why these players left. It's just like Courtney Jones went to start a business. Jasmine Reeves, she's got a job with Amazon. Hey, if you can hook me up, Jasmine Reeves, I will take a job at Amazon too, man. I do not care. I ain't too proud to beg. Let's see. Marissa Diggs, she just went to work and she's 22.
That's awkward. There it is.
And then, just like you said with Nikki Marshall, I think it was, Keisha Morway, 23. She went to go to the education sector or a personal trainer. So, I mean, it's great. I hope it doesn't continue, but it's understandable. You can't fault these people for trying to get the most money they can, as any of us would with any type of job. Well, it's an unfortunate trend, but also let's see, where are we at now, guys? Yes, this is the fun part. This is what I've been waiting for. And no, it's not about me deciding which team I'm going for, as it's still up in the air, you know. What team are you guys looking forward to the most? Let's start with FCKC. Let's start with Rue, though. Yeah, what team?
You've got to look forward to your own team most. Chopping and changing teams. I lose all respect for you if you're chopping and changing teams. So
yep.
Obviously, Kansas City.
All right. Then, well, I guess we should just ask you the rest of it. Which team are you looking forward to the least?
There we go.
Seattle, I think.
Yeah. And how about top goal scorer, top assist? Who do you think is going to be top goal scorer, top assist? And who's going to win the league other than FCKC? Do you think?
I think top goal scorer, assuming Seattle don't get a penalty every single match again, and Kim Little scores them all again. I think it might be Nadia Nadim for Sky Blue, just because of how well she did coming in last season. And obviously she's not going to be at the World Cup. She can play the whole season. So yeah, I think if she picks up where she left off, she can be brilliant. Assists, that's something I don't really care about, to be honest.
You got to choose somebody. Somebody.
It's like an ego boosting stat, that isn't it? Like, you want the whole team to be involved, really. So their names don't get mentioned on stupid stat lists. What was the third question? Sorry.
Your third question was, since you blew off the assist one, who will win the league?
Who will win the league? I've got to go with Kansas City, haven't I? I've got faith in my team.
Well, I guess so. You know, we're not going to ask you any more questions at this point. I'm joking.
All right, see you later then. Bye.
No, all right, Aurelio. Same questions.
Well, I'm looking forward to see the new dash with Lloyd and Morgan Bryan together. And like I said, Ohai, Handel, and Roach together. Those three can score a lot of goals together, hopefully, with those two mids setting them up. And I think the most top scorer, I hope Ohai or Henderson get it, but I think maybe King Little will.
Yeah.
And again, I hope Houston wins the league, but I don't know. I think Seattle will win this year.
All right, Christine, go down your roll. Give us your predictions for the league right now.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna go straight to the who's gonna win.
Go for it.
I think that you're gonna have as far as top goal scorer, I have no idea. We're gonna have so many influx players. New players, young players, old players, all of the national team players are going to be in and out, so I don't think any of them are going to be even a factor, which is not a bad thing, really. It gives the non-call-up teams a chance to, is that going to work? A chance to get out there and show them what they can do. I'd actually not be surprised if McDonald doesn't take over and be a top scorer in the league. She did just that. What was up in the top 5, I think, within the league with Portland, and I don't see why she can do that or better. And so, as far as assists, I'm not sure, but as far as winning, I think the Dash have made a nice name for themselves, or put something together nice for themselves to make a good run at the playoffs, because they put a team together that doesn't necessarily rely on their national team players to get the job done. I don't know. I'm going to have to go with probably, as much as I hate it, and as much as I'd like to say it's going to be Portland, I think it's probably going to be between the Dash or Seattle for the win.
All right, very good. Well, since I am your host that doesn't have a team, this will be a little bit more fun since I won't just go down a list of names of players on my favorite team. So let's start this the right way, guys. Okay, so which team am I looking forward the most? All right, yeah, I'll go with Houston Dash. I like all the moves they made. They look like they'll be pretty competitive. Really just want to see them when their full team is there and all the national teamers are back and stuff and so forth. So Houston Dash for me. Top goal scorer. I think it's going to come down to Kim Little and Nadim. They're going to go back and forth, and I think Kim Little's going to edge her by an inch. I think Kim Little will edge her by an inch. Top assist leader. Oh, this is an FCKC choice for me. I'm going to go with Erica Timrick because I think the leader last year was Jess Fishlock with 8. I think Timrick have about like 9 or 10 easily. I think she's going to have a little bit of fun while she's not at the World Cup, even though she deserves to be there. But we can get into that another time. And let's see who win the league. Actually, FCKC is going to win the league if Lauren Holiday and A-Rod are there. If not, I don't know who's going to win the league, but I'll give you a guess. I will say, Houston Dash will come back and win the league this year after last season being a year for them. So they'll come back and win the league and just shock everybody. Let's see, is it the team I want to see the least? The Flash. You know why? And we'll move on. So, all right. That's
also the team Abby Wambach wants to see the least.
It's so funny and so true. Which player are you guys looking forward to now? The most, or the player you're looking forward to, Christy?
Wait, what?
Which player are you looking forward to seeing? You know that. Look at that. Which player are you looking forward to seeing the most?
I'd like to see. See if Ohio is going to live up to her expectations. I know she had high expectations of her coming out of college, and I don't think that she's really had a chance last year to do her thing. But I'd like to see what she's going to do. I think that I'd like to see Morgan Bryan and what she can do in an actual league environment, which is going to be feel a little bit closer to what she's used to in college, I think. What she was used to in college, and I think she'll, like I said, like you said earlier, she's playing in a position she's more comfortable with. I'd like to see her really take off and do what she's expected to do as well.
All right, Rulio, same question. Which player are you looking forward to the most?
I want to see how Amanda Da Costa does with this period. I miss her with Liverpool.
Oh, yeah? It's a Liverpool love right there. All right, Rue, which player are you looking forward to the most this year?
Obviously. Guess which team they're from? Go on, guess.
The Flash?
No. I really want to see how Sarah Hagan does this season, especially while A-Rod's gone, either permanently or just for the World Cup. But yeah, all of the Kansas City players really. No specific one in particular. As for all the draft picks, I have no idea who any of them are. No offense, I just don't know anything about the college system. So really want to see how they do.
Sounds good to me. I guess the player I want to see the most is on the Houston Dash again. And man, I keep running to Houston. Did I pick them as my team? Stay tuned.
Shameless.
Scoring record, it seems like, for the most part, or whatever. Played in Champions League, I think scored about 6 or 7 goals, I believe. So I want to see how many goals. I think she's going to score a ton of goals. I remember I predicted last year Kim Little would come in and score a bunch of goals. Well, I'm predicting that she'll come in and score, have a nice goal tally this year, be one of the top 3, top 2 goal scorers maybe this year. So I'm looking forward to seeing what she could do. So that whole Houston team's just looking nice, I think, overall. Who do you have as your breakout player of the year, Aurelio?
I think Erica Timrick will. I think she'll be that mid creating and assisting for Kansas City. She'll come back to the top form. And again, I want to see how Morgan Bryan performs with Carly Lloyd. I think the chemistry between them with the national team can be transferred to the Houston Dash, hopefully.
Yeah, I think they're gonna be a good-looking team, though. Rue, tell us which FCKC player you think will have a breakout season this year.
Like I said just earlier, I hope Sarah Hagan starts scoring plenty of goals. Yeah.
I think so too. I think she'll get a chance right now with A-Rod and them away. Christy, same question.
I was glad to see Kat Williams come back, our defender. I'm excited to see her back in with Portland and doing her thing, and I'd like to see Kim come back and really perform like she was expected to, and really kind of fell short last year, and I think that had a lot to do with the system that they were playing in. So I would probably say those 2 players on Portland's team.
Well, unfortunately, I have to go with Houston again. I'm going with Oha. I think she's going to have a breakout year. I think she'll actually score goals and live up to that potential. Have a nice, have a pretty decent season. And I don't know. I just see her having a good year, especially now that she's going to have a lot of talent around her too. So I think they're going to really, once they really get going and get some good chemistry together, they're going to have a great season down there in Houston. Let's see. No, not the player. Rookie of the Year. This is a good one. Rue, you say you don't really follow the college girls, so you don't have a choice, right? Huh?
I haven't a clue. Sorry.
That's fine. We will go with Christy.
Rookie of the Year, I'm going to go with Brian.
Morgan Brian. Rubio, who do you have for Rookie of the Year?
Morgan Bryan.
Morgan Bryan. Rue says she's picking no one because that's how she's going to roll
And you
today.
want Morgan Bryan be too busy at the World Cup to be bothered about the NWSL?
It's hard. I mean, yeah, that's a good question. You really could be. I mean, it's either that or I pick the Mew sister, and I'm just going to stay with Brian.
Woo. You know what, guys? I'm going to change it up a little bit.
We've got some questions on Twitter, actually, before we finish
okay. Let me finish this, and then we'll jump to Twitter because you fans are the reason why we do this. I'm going with Sarah Killian. You guys remember her? No, because Tom called her up in the Algarve Cup, and then that was the only thing we heard about her. Played at UCLA. She seemed like she had a pretty good career there. She got her, like I said, full Algarve Cup call-up in 2014. 13 goals, 32 assists for UCLA. She was a U18s player, and she got tons of minutes. With them, came up through our system. I think she's going to have a good year with Sky Blue, Katie Friels, and all them. I think she's really going to mix in with them well. So I'm looking forward to seeing her play. Let's go to the questions because this is where I have the most fun. Let's Rue, where are the questions at? Yeah.
Twitter. Do you want me to read them out?
Yeah, let's go with the first one.
First one is from J.L. Hayes. He says, "Who do you think will finish last?"
All right, I'll go with that. That's pretty easy, my buddy JL. The Flash. And it looks like they had a fire sale. I just don't think they're going to be a good team or whatever. It seemed like they were looking forward to, like I said, I even read that their concept was to, get a bunch of young players in and try to develop and stuff. And it's just like, all right, have fun developing and losing because that's what usually happens when people are developing. No offense, Flash fans, but it's going to be a rough season, so just be in for it. Just cheer when you get your wins, and if you lose, hey, we're not good enough yet. Rue, what do you think?
I think it might be Boston again this season.
Oh, I forgot about them. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So who do they have left? Haven't half of the team retired? So yeah, I don't think they'll fare very well, to be honest.
Yeah, it's about that. Rubio, who do you think is going to finish last, since everyone wants to see who's going to be at the bottom of the barrel?
It's either Boston or the Flash. I hope the Flash.
I'm sorry, Flash. Christy, who do you got at the bottom?
I think it's going to be a race for dead last between Boston and the Flash.
You guys are mean.
I think that. Unfortunately, I assume if Heo comes back and does play, she will still be an impact on that team. But that may be about all that Boston has, and that's a slim, distant hope, and that's going to be the end of the season. So
I think Rue got something to tell you. Isn't Heo with your girls down there in FCKC?
Yeah, we've got Heo now.
Yeah.
Right.
For how long, I have no idea.
So who isn't on FCK?
So Chris, now how do you feel about Boston now?
Right, yeah, totally.
How do you feel about Boston?
She moved. Wow, that's awkward. Poor Boston.
Poor
I feel bad
Boston.
for Boston. I don't feel bad for the Flash. Why is that?
Well,
I feel bad for the Flash. They've been left in the lurch by Wambach. They've been completely left in the lurch. I feel so bad for him.
It's going to be a race for dead last. I forgot, like I said, Boston. Yeah, if I forgot about it, then I'm changing my choice. It's going to be Boston because I even forgot about you. They got Nair. She'll get a lot of chances to save a lot of shots and get a call up again and actually start some games. So
she might be gone as an alternate for the World Cup as well. So.
That's true.
Oh, geez, they're going to get lit up. So Boston's going to be at the bottom. Next
Rest in peace, Boston.
Yeah. Thanks for the question, buddy. We appreciate appreciate it. I mean, geez, I feel bad now again for Boston on Twitter.
All right.
Sorry, what was that?
Was there any more questions on Twitter?
Yeah, there was. Sorry, I thought you cut off for a second there. Anan asks, are there any big players from other countries that don't play in the NWSL that you'd like to see in the NWSL?
Ooh, that's a good show. That's a good one. Hey, Anan, how you doing, buddy? I'm glad you're still watching, shockingly. Let me think about that. First thing that came to my mind was Jennifer Marajan for Germany, but I mean, she'd come over here and tear it up. I think that would be nice if she did come over here. I doubt she ever would with the money and stuff, but that was the first player that came to my mind when he said that. Rue, how about you?
Yeah, I think players like Marajan should stay the hell away from the NWSL if they know what's good for them. I find it crazy that some people left the WSL in England to come to America, and they've actually left Champions League football. I think that's an insane decision. I think it was it Del Rio who was joining Spirit. Yeah, she's left Champions League football for the Spirit, which is like a horrible life choice, but there you go.
Are they coming here for full season, or are they doing like what like some of the American players did and coming back after the European club wraps up?
Oh, well, the WSL season runs same as NWSL. It's a summer league, so, and the Champions League's running right now, like this weekend actually. They're playing the games. So.
All right, Aurelio, which player that is playing overseas right now would you like to see in the NWSL?
Maybe Laura Schelling. I like to see her in the NWSL. Playing for the Dash, of course.
I think I have a few.
Not many forwards, that's greedy.
You know what? Let's throw Summer in NWSL and let's see how many goals she scores. About 30. Let's throw half the French team in NWSL and see what happens. Good question. We appreciate it, Anan. Good viewer. Any more Twitter questions?
Yes. No.
You got some questions on Facebook, Aurelio?
No, I'm checking Twitter.
Okay.
Nothing on Facebook.
Nothing on Facebook. Oh, who's checking Tumblr? Our Tumblr person isn't here.
Tumblr.
Oh, Tumblr. Well, while someone tries to sneak to Tumblr and or we fake Tumblr, this is a good time for me to get personal with you guys. Because I think it's about the time where I thank a few of you, and then I talk about the team I'm about to choose. Oh, yeah. You've been waiting for this, because you know you're going to win something free. That's why you've been waiting for it, and I see how it is. First things first, let me give the fan shout-outs. I guess we'll do this at the end of every episode, because there's a lot of people that work and help us out that you don't even get to see on camera. Like some of the people that were going to be on today that I don't know what happened to them. I think they jumped in a plane. They're flying here now. They'll be here in a second. You know, they'll be here next week. I have no clue what happened to people. Nettleman, he helped us out. He's been helping us out promoting stuff. Appreciate it. Clifton Santiago, a big Spirit fan. So I mean, we gave the Spirit some good. We talked them up pretty good or whatever. I hope you help talk us up. You know, on Twitter. Basic Footballer, Goal Guardian, she gave us some at 34. She gave us a shout out, so give her a follow. Rachel Stack, we all know little Rachel Stack with her Enrique Iglesias love. We're not going to talk about that. That ruined the last week's show, so we're not talking about that anymore.
I love Enrique.
Oh yeah, Rachel is a big football fan, and she has a blog, and she's arrogant enough to call it. I joke with her about this. She's arrogant enough to call it www.rachelstack.com. So it's an easy one. So go read that if you want to. Good NWSL, U.S. Women's National Team stuff. I guess now, if there's no more questions, right? There's no more questions? Oh, my God. Sierra decides to show up.
Better late than never?
Hey.
Should we have a fanfare for the late arrival?
So, guys, we're going to go over a few of the questions because we want to hear Sierra's opinion on them. So that means the show's going to last a bit longer. And right as I was about to give you the contest winner, you know, there's more suspense. So, Sierra, we will start with you basically with which team are you looking forward to? And we'll take it from there. So which team are you looking forward to seeing the most since we've already went over it? So we'll let you go through, catch up. But first, introduce yourself. I'm sorry I'm jumping the gun. Introduce yourself. Tell who you are. Tell who your favorite player is, and why you're even here as a soccer fan.
My favorite, I'm Sierra, Defense Probs on Twitter, if you follow me there. My favorite team is Seattle Reign. I'm wearing a Seattle shirt right now. And I'm mostly a Loso fan because, I don't know, I've always played soccer, so obviously it's good to have teams to look up to. And I'm a big fan of the United States, so that's pretty much.
Rue might say that's unfortunate. Let's see. Okay, so let's go. Let's go with right now. It's the focus is on you for a little bit since you jumped in when you felt like it. Which team are you looking forward to seeing the most this year in NWSL?
I like the Houston Dashes roster right now, because they just acquired Stephanie Roche, I think that's how you pronounce her name. And they have Carly Lloyd now, and I just feel like they're really stacked. And prior to the World Cup, at least, they're gonna do really well. So, yeah.
Who do you think is going to be the top goal scorer this year?
Probably like A-Rod, like last season, Kim Little. I mean, they're still up to par, obviously. As long as like A-Rod doesn't take off this season or anything like that.
Yeah, if she comes back, she could probably light it up. No one liked my assist question, so I won't punish you with that one. Who do you think is going to win the league?
I think that regular season, just like the supporter shield or whatever,
Yeah.
I think that the Reign are going to, because once everyone leaves, they're still gonna have Kim Little and Jess, because their teams obviously didn't. Oh no.
Well, it seems like we got a Reign fan. Portland fan, how do you feel about the Reign winning the league? Tell us how you really feel, too.
Well, I certainly hope they don't win the league. Nobody wants to see the Reign win the league if you're a Portland fan, but I think that goes both ways.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, realistically though, I mean, whoever is going to have the best players intact during the World Cup is going to take over. They're going to give a run for that championship above anybody else, and she's definitely right about that. The Reign seem to have the best quality players outside of the World Cup participants. I still think the Dash have some nice players that could keep them in the running. So it may be between the two of them.
Sounds good to me. All right, we're going back to you, Sierra. Which player are you looking forward to the most this year? No one. No one. That's fine.
Abby Wambach.
Everyone. That's who you're looking forward to the most this year, Sierra?
Oh, and
And on that note,
that was a short. Was what I said that bad?
I think you pissed her. I think you pissed her off. You shouldn't have talked about Seattle. Those Seattle fans don't
I was
play.
very diplomatic.
Seattle fans don't play. You must stop. Now back to this being the DJ show right now. So we're going to announce the contest winner, since we know that we had this big contest for the whole week, and all you fans started attacking me with why I should like this team or else. Some people threatened me to break my leg, so I'm pretty pissed about that. Other than that, yeah, it was a pretty good contest. No, seriously, I enjoyed interacting with you. You guys were really passionate. It's good to see a lot of passionate NWSL fans, so that was real cool. But it's time for the decision. Oh,
Would you
here
like
we
a
go.
drum roll?
Yeah, I guess we'll do a drum roll, and I'll take off my lower third so I can prep for this year.
Okay. Bit of suspense, we'll build it for you. The answer to the question everyone wants to know. Wayne, which team have you chosen?
All right, so
Come on.
it was a real hard choice, and I thought about it for a long time. There's many teams I could choose from. I was thinking about Boston. I was thinking about the FCKC. Thought about Chicago for a little bit. no Flash fans even talk to me, so I'm going to remember that. I'm going to remember that. I got you now. But I made my decision, and I think I'm going to take my talents to New Jersey. So as you can see, this is going to be my NWSL lower third. We're going to have Katie Friels, a.k.a. Katie Thrills, or Katie Trills. I don't know. We'll give her a nickname that's pretty cool. You guys decide on which one. I like Katie Trills because you're just dancing to that one. Katie Trills. But other than that, I'm sorry, guys. I had a moment. That's everything. Sierra was here. Sierra's gone. You might see her next show. You might never see her again because that's how we roll. Whatever happened to that one girl, Tori? I don't know.
Get well soon, Tori.
Yeah, Tori's actually sick, so we hope she gets well soon.
She's sick of us. That's what she is.
Da.
And
the winner of the contest came off Facebook. Her name was Sarah. I'll be sending you that shirt. For next week sometime or whatever. We talked about it or whatnot, so you'll get your shirt. I guess I'll get a sky blue shirt, and hopefully I can get it delivered by a couple of weeks or so, and I'll be rocking that during the show. We just lost half the fans because most of them were Portland fans, but none of them called out to me. So, hey, you should have told me to support your team, and I might have listened to you. Other than that, is there anything else? Let's check for questions real quick, see if we're about to end it. If not, I'll call it a day.
yeah, before I go, I need to send a hug to my friend Anna. She's watching just because of that. So, I send her a hug. That's all.
Oh, wow, we got fans now? I didn't know that. No one likes me.
Yeah. And I say that in Portuguese too, so she will understand later.
Say it in Portuguese. Go for it.
Abraço pra você, Ana. That's all.
Rue, do you want to say something in proper English? Because we say it in the messed up English. Any fans you want to speak to real quick?
You think I speak proper English?
Oh.
My friend
The Queen.
can actually understand her.
He says, yeah, that's why. Aurelio said he understands. You didn't understand that. So I'm like, we're butchering the language.
Yeah, you definitely are. Let's not talk about American spelling of the word colour and favourite and so on.
I do have one.
All those U's you guys use. I've started to do it by mistake. All right, guys. Well, that's our show. Next week, I think we're going to talk a little bit about UCL, your Champions League and stuff because someone wanted us to talk about that. So I guess we're going overseas next week. That should be pretty fun. I guess Rue's going to run the show next week. Other than that, I have nothing else to say.
I did not agree to this.
There's one more question, DJ, if you want to take it.
Yeah, let's take that question real quick, because I'm not mean like that.
It's from Shy Hannah, who gave us some questions last week, so I definitely don't want to miss that. I'll try to read it. It's a little bit broken. It says, what do you think the new NWSL league needs to do better to be better and have a bigger fan base? And do you think the league has a future?
Let's start with first with that one. Oh, that's a loaded question. Oh boy.
We're going to be here another hour at this rate. First and foremost, it needs the top players there. It can't have Wambach taking time off whenever she wants and claiming that she has the authority to do that because she doesn't. Who the hell does she think she is? Moron. But yeah, it needs top players there. I think the schedule could be a bit better. Maybe if they took a break during the whole World Cup, more players, more of the national team players would be keen to play. Sorry, I won't go on. I'll give you guys a chance to answer. Otherwise, we'll be here all night.
All right, well, we know that she's not happy. Aurelio, how do you feel? What do you think the league needs to do to, I guess, survive? Is it really Christy?
Expansion, I think we need more teams in the league. It will bring in more fans, I guess. I hope someday have like the MLS with 20 or not 20 something teams.
Yeah.
Longer schedule too.
Let's see. Christy, it's your turn. How do you think the league can survive, or will it survive?
I think of the two leagues before it, of the 3 tries that we've had, I think this is the most potentially sustainable, mostly due to the backing of U.S. Soccer, which unfortunately kind of puts into the fact that they feel like since they're giving us money and helping to fund it, that they have the right to decide, how much the players should or shouldn't play and have a little input in that as well. So I don't know if that's necessarily right, but at this point I think it's we have to take what's given to us in order to keep the league going until it can sustain it. So I think it's going to sustain itself eventually, but I mean, Rue's definitely right with that. You can't have this league in its current state, and with the lack of money, you can play the players that aren't top level players, or not top level is a bad word because a lot of them really are, but top tier, most popular, however you want to word it, players in order to sustain the league. 90% of a fan base in any sport, in my opinion, is casual fan. Us dedicated fans who don't really care about the popular ones are going to be the ones who. We got an addition. But anyway, well, cutting myself off, long story short, I think it has a future, but I think we have to have our popular players in order to keep it going, in order to sustain the league. Blah, blah, blah. Stopping.
All right.
Hi, Steve. Welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back.
Yeah, my PC died.
It's all right, Steve. Welcome to the show. You'll learn. All right, we have our main fans of the show. She asked, do you think the NWSL, I guess, can sustain itself more so? And what do you think it can do to sustain itself? Go for it.
I think that, like, obviously it's going to be hard if, like, bigger names are going to start, like, taking off and stuff, and especially when Abby Wambach retires, obviously. People are going to be like, oh, this legendary girl that helped the league so much is retiring, I'm going to stop watching. I don't think that's going to happen. But I think that, like, the fact that MLS is backing teams and stuff, like, they, like, for the Portland Thorns, they have the ticket deals or whatever. I'm sure they do different stuff. I've mostly seen them advertised by the Thorns. But I think that more of that will make it better. And then also, like, other teams that live in cities with MLS teams, which is every single NWSL team, getting backed by one. Hopefully that would work. I know that there's a chance for Sky Blue to be backed by the New York Red Bulls at one time, but that didn't work out. But I mean, I think it could happen for other teams.
Sounds good to me. I think the whole the MLS, like, you know, should be like jumping in, trying to help. Like, I mean, I think it's the NBA and WNBA have a whole little thing, because even though I think they're probably like under the same umbrella, so to speak, but still, MLS. I mean, why not help out another league like the NWSL, which should be your sister league, in my opinion.
I agree.
I guess that won't happen. But other than that, I don't know. I feel like this league is it can't. I fear the World Cup year, because I was wondering how the league was going to survive this little year, just because I knew it was going to have to be stopped, and there were going to be players that weren't going to be there that were important to the league. So I really want to see what was going to happen here, and if they start to, I guess, maybe go about it a little bit differently. Maybe we don't need to expand right away. Maybe we do need to expand. You know, there's a lot of ways that if they do it right, they can bring in more revenue. But you need the best players here, because we're not going to watch a bunch of people we barely know, or you trying to develop stars, which I guess you really aren't doing to begin with, because it seems like the fan like us will end up finding the stars of the Blue League, but it's like some casual fan might look at it, and if he doesn't know the name or has never heard of it before, he or she may not, you know, stick with it. So,
yeah.
Good question. Good question. Anything else we got?
There might be something worth bringing up while we're here, is that the recent article about the NWSL chairman, or what's it called, commissioner, saying that there are six cities interested in doing expansion teams. I don't exactly know which cities those are, but that could be a potential positive for the league itself. And one of them, I think they said, is Salt Lake City, which they have. It would be owned by the Real Salt Lake. So if that's a trend we're seeing with Portland getting that started, and Houston get more MLS teams to take those expansion teams or partner with the existing teams already, I think that would help sustain the league.
It'd be a good trend. Which state would you like to see get a team, or which area would you like to see get a team? Christy.
Oh, sorry. I'm gonna say, and of course I'm a little bit partial because I live in Florida, but maybe like the Miami or the Orlando market. There's a huge market for football in this city, mostly because of a lot of our Latin American residents. Either that or California. I think those are going to be probably your two biggest markets. Though I think Real Salt Lake taking on a team would probably have a nice fan base there as well.
Really, where would you like to see a team place?
Me?
Yeah, oh yeah.
I'd like to see Florida and California having a team.
Not bad choices. Big markets. Sierra,
Both
where would
right
you,
back.
Sierra, where would you like a team?
Personally, for me, I would like to see one in Ohio because I live in Kentucky, and that's just like so convenient for me. But the best place to have one, according to the fan base, is probably California.
Looks like everyone's looking out for themselves here, eh? Rue, where would you want a team to be placed in the NWSL?
I think it might be a good idea to, since obviously the Canadian Association are involved, to have a team in Canada, maybe Toronto or Vancouver. It'd be a good legacy after the World Cup, I think, assuming it's as successful as they hope it's going to be. But yeah, someone like Toronto would be brilliant.
I was thinking, I was thinking California probably like hop on a team like some LA-based team. Toronto's a great choice. I think that'd be a good place to put a team. Throw something in Florida maybe. That'd be nice. Maybe a team in Dallas. See how they'll roll. Get a nice little Dallas versus Houston rivalry. I don't know how they'll take to that, but that'd be something good. Throw a team in Las Vegas. Hey, I want to go to Vegas and see a team. I'm looking out for myself now. Other than that, any more questions, guys? Anything else we got to cover?
I don't have anything.
Nothing.
Nothing on Facebook either.
Old Facebook. They always talk to us during the week, but it seems like they disappear during the show. I see how it is, Facebook fans.
JL Hayes, DJ says, great choice on the Sky Blue that they need all the help they can get. He didn't say that.
Who said that?
JL Hayes.
Oh, so everyone's liking that on the Sky Blue. All right, then. I see you, Sky Blue fans. You better start talking to me on Twitter this week, because you guys were actually some really nice fans. Really, wow, there was a couple of names. I wish I would have wrote them down. They just were like, oh, Sky Blue because of blah, blah, blah. So I think we're going to have a good year, guys. I think we're going to win it all. Win it all. You hear that, FCKC? It all.
You can have the regular, whatever it's called, and then losing the playoff final again. That'd be fun.
All right, sounds good. Or we can just
win
flip
everything but the match that matters.
And by the way, we need to look at this because this is what I wanted to point out. Did everyone see that little thing on Rue's screen right now? This is all your fault. Should she explain it, or should we save that for next week?
It's not really that interesting, to be fair. You had to be there. It's one of those moments.
That's why I just wanted to leave the mystery behind because the fact that she said that to you is like funny enough. So we're gonna leave the mystery behind that. Other than that, guys, I guess this is where I wrap it up. All right, guys. So that's our show. We're gonna probably have some new panelists on next week because Tori will still be sick, and I don't know. Someone's gonna go missing, and someone always goes missing last minute. So we'll have some new panelists on. I'm probably going to ask some of you guys out there and see if some of you want to be on. Oh, yeah, so you should look out for that. If you do, you know where to hit me up at? That little thing right there. That tells where I'm at. Oh, let me raise my hand up a bit. It's right there. There it is. All right. Talk to us there. Talk to us at Woso Off the Post on Twitter. Like us on Facebook, Woso, or is it just Off the Post? I think it's just Off the Post. Follow us on Tumblr because we're going to post silly questions and questions of the day. I don't know any other social. Oh, yeah, we have Instagram for some reason now. I'm just so social media out. That's the show. It's usually going to end wacky, so let's see what happens right now. Is there a dog barking? No. A cat going? We jumped the shark. We jumped the shark, people. And that's that. Let's thank Sierra for being on part-time because I guess she wants to get paid part-time. No, we don't pay people. I'm lying. That's it. We're wrapping it up. Let's stop the broadcast. Have a good day. We'll see you next week, maybe. Yeah, we'll see you next week.